students are gone, but you are still here. And we know how you feel because you are done. But you have so much work to do to get ready for tomorrow. Good afternoon, podcast listeners everywhere. Welcome to After the Bell, a Stunt Brothers production. A podcast that gets inside the life of a teacher and provides a wellness guide for being prepared to take on this most challenging of professions. I'm Martin Stuvel.
And I'm Roy Hunt. And we share your pain, having taught a combined 70 years. The guarantee of this podcast is to make you laugh, make you think, and give you at least one little nugget that you can use in the classroom. So get out your marking, organize your supplies, or just pour yourself a coffee.
I want something stronger.
And listen, engage, and interact with After the Bell, a podcast for you, the hard-working, dedicated teacher who wants free lesson plans, free advice, and a free meal.
Okay, Roy, but I'm not paying for anything more than McDonald's. Testing, yeah, testing 1, 2. Okay, talk away. Yeah, you're
testing,
not.
Roy 1, 2.
Is not a lazy man.
I don't want to be
He's many things,
put down as
but
lazy.
He's not a lazy man.
That's one of your lines. Lazy, lazy,
lazy.
lazy.
Lazy, lazy.
Do you remember that from Cinderella?
Cinderella.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's lazy, lazy, lazy.
Lazy. But there's something, it reminds me of another lazy, lazy, lazy. Oh, it's Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Okay.
Pretty, pretty, pretty nice, or something like that.
No.
Yeah,
Well,
that's the way you said it made me think of it.
Well, I always remember the one where Larry David is watching a Japanese man bumping into another Japanese man, knocks over the man's ice cream.
Right.
And the Japanese man who bumps into the other man, knocking over the ice cream, bends down really, really low, goes, "Gomen nasai." And Larry David's looking at him and goes like, "Excuse me, do you speak English?" And I guess fluently.
Right.
And he said, "I just saw you bow to this guy." Because, "Yes, I knocked over his ice cream. And I'm sorry, so I bowed." He said, "But you bowed really deeply." I said, "Yes, because I'm very sorry." He said, "Well, the other day, I said something, a Japanese man said something to me, and he bowed, and he only gave me a part bow." And he goes like, "Oh.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, no, that is not a bow. That is a shit bow."
Don't you just
He gave me a shit bow?
don't you just wish you could be Larry David sometimes, right? Have those moments?
Oh, yes.
Just, a little bit of just
say what's
filter,
on your mind. No filter.
No filter. I think
No filter.
My son always talks about looking forward to getting old because he likes that idea, though he doesn't have much of a filter at age 30. But you know what? Listeners, we've just been chatting away, doing a warm-up here, getting started. But, maybe you just dropped into our conversation, and here we are doing our STS beginning for episode. This is episode 37, season 2, episode 7.
Season 2, 37.
They're always
episode
7. That's how I remember.
The 7.
They're
always going to align, right? 38 is going to be 8, and 39 is going to be 39.
It's pure mathematical simplicity. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Sure.
So, here we are in the studio.
In the
box.
studio. The weather has definitely turned into autumnal season.
Oh, autumnal.
Do you like that?
Right.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
The challenge of the English language,
That's right.
Autumn.
You mean
autumnal?
falling of the leaves? And you go, yes.
Yes, that's what I mean. Okay, Mr. Hunt.
Okay. But
has,
not all leaves fall. And yes, you're right about that too.
It has, though. I can tell in the garden. I've got everything cleaned up. I've been making my pesto. That's always a sign that the basil has to come in and freezing my basil. And
freezing my basil.
Freezing my basil off.
Yeah, well, at night, I think you would be freezing your basil off. It's the temperature drops. I mean, for here in BC, other places, I imagine we're getting like Saskatchewan, Alberta. They have snow in some sections
already started, right?
But for us, it's chilly at night. I think we turned the furnace on for the first time about 2 days ago.
Same, exactly. And I know this time of year it's garlic planting time. So I always plant the garlic because you put it in about mid-October. Then it likes the winter to kind of stop growing for a bit. So you get it started, freeze comes, stops growing, then it starts again in January, February, and then ready in July. And I have some garlic I harvested in July in my shed, and it's there for the taking to add to my pesto. You see, it's all perfectly connected.
Do you know the garlic man
Yeah.
who lives on 11th Ave?
Yeah, we can smell them. And then I look around the neighborhood and I see Halloween decorations everywhere. So that's another sign that summer is over.
Some great displays. I know people. I know in our neighborhood there are some people who just go all out. Like they bring in a load of soil, and make mounds to represent grave sites.
Over the top sometimes. Some of these haunted houses. There was a street just nearby. I think the guy was in the film industry, right? So he had all. I mean, it was
when
just
you have access
insane,
to things like
right?
that. Yes,
you're trying to compete with your little, Walmart plastic decoration that doesn't hold up.
You got a little ghost.
And then teachers, of course, in their classroom, I guess they're either looking forward to Halloween or dreading it.
Yes,
it's coming.
I don't know what day the 31st is for
it's a Friday.
Teachers. I think you might be right.
It is a Friday. It is a Friday.
It is,
because I'm having a little reunion with my favorite teacher, Miss Christine Miller.
Okay.
Some former Ridgeway students who had her in the mid-'70s, and we're all getting together at my place on November 1st. That's how. It was just a Saturday.
That's
how I know.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's quite
so
exciting.
Friday is the 31st. I mean.
That's not so bad.
It's not so bad.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of craziness in the classroom, what you do for the day. It'd be interesting to how do you survive.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of candy coming in. I mean, there's a few, but kids who kind of take it before they dish it out on Friday night. But the big thing is the next day when they're exhausted and they have bags and bags of candy, they're at home.
They are at home.
Yes.
I know a lot of schools sometimes they put a professional day on the next day. Right?
Oh,
just
that's
kind of
a Monday professional day would be a good idea.
Kids there's two choices: either come in absolutely exhausted, or they're just so wired, right?
Well, they've had instead of their normal breakfast, they've had, candy.
Yes.
And they've had candy when they got up.
For lunch.
They had candy walking
dinner.
to school. They had candy at recess. They had candy at lunch.
Yeah.
And basically, and you can tell because there are wrappers. It's crazy. Wrappers everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, sadly.
It is sad. And it's sad that summer's ending, but that we need the seasons to happen. And it's funny, like 2 days ago, it actually was still warm, and I still felt that maybe summer was holding on a little bit. But now I don't think so.
I need to go back to summer.
I know.
I need to go back to the heat to feel the heat on my face.
I know. I think so.
And I don't think I will be traveling anywhere warm.
So what do we do? I mean, how do we keep a little bit of summer going in the After the Bell podcast?
We could go back and revisit our Manning Park series.
We have a few Manning Park sessions that we have not published yet and broadcast to the world. So why don't we do a Manning Park session so everybody could have a little bit of summer back
That's right.
again.
I mean, the weather was amazing. I can remember us sitting in lawn chairs,
so warm,
with
so
drinks,
beautiful,
facing the sun and just soaking it all in. So that's where I'm visualizing myself to go.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go and leave this autumnal place and head back to summer.
There we go.
Well, Mr. Hunt, we have another Manning Park session here.
Yes, we do. A beautiful day here at Manning Park. Sunny, few clouds in the sky.
We're lucky because it was, I'd say, extra smoky earlier when we went up to Cascade and had to look out and saw there's a fire quite close to us.
About 3 kilometers away.
Yeah, but the wind seems to be blowing. There was an extra wind that kind of took the air and has sent it in a different direction. So here at the Lightning Lake Campground, it's okay. It's quite pleasant.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, and we have a few of these sessions. I think we will have 3 or 4 Manning Park sessions that you will get throughout the year. Mm-hmm. So at certain moments, we will drop them. And in my mind, it's because I think we were kind of lazy, right? We kind of said we didn't have anything this week.
Whoa. Hold up there. I am not liking the word lazy.
Oh,
so we are here camping.
I have offended Mr. Hunt.
And it's not just camping. This is work experience. We did 2 episodes yesterday. We're doing 2 today. That's not lazy.
So when I said, let's go camping for a nice, relaxing few days, you were not
You didn't say,
envisioning
let's
this.
go for a working holiday, and with the emphasis on working.
This feels like work, doesn't it? You're working
No,
hard.
it doesn't feel like work,
okay,
but
good.
it is
Okay.
work.
Okay. So we will have these episodes sometime throughout the year. You will hear it, and you're hearing it because we are extra amazing. Is that what you want me to say?
Well, how about
we
we're
worked
just
extra hard to
We're
produce?
working extra hard
Okay.
to make sure that we have episodes for our listeners.
So if is a week where we don't have a guest in place, or there's some reason we don't have an episode, we can turn to these Manning Park episodes.
That's right.
Where we worked extra hard on
Extra
our
hard.
vacation,
They're extra good.
right?
They're extra special.
You're extra funny today, Mr. Hunt.
It's because I had an extra shot with
Oh my
lunch
gosh,
Today.
What is it with the word extra?
Yes.
Right?
Well, extra is such a strange word when you think about it. It's
Yes.
like I have an extra large, and that means the size is extra large, or does it mean you have 2 larges?
Right. Okay. Because you're an extra in a movie, you're kind of in addition to the
A movie extra,
right?
so
that's
then they
kind of
don't need you.
right? That's a different meaning.
They bring you in when they do need you.
But when you say extra large, that's like more large.
Yeah.
It's more large.
It's
Got
more
large,
large.
and it's extra large. Because usually the ad world uses extra when they want to sell something, like extra spicy, right?
That's right.
We got more spice in here,
Extra cheesy,
right?
which could have 2 meanings.
It could.
It could be on an extra cheesy pizza, and he says, "Oh my gosh, this movie is extra cheesy."
Extra cheesy, right?
That's right.
This is a cheesy movie. It's extra
Yeah.
cheesy.
But if you have 2 children, do you
Right.
have one, and then the other one's your extra?
This is my son. This is my
This
extra
is my
son.
extra child in case I lose
Well,
one.
but it's funny you should say that, Mr. Hunt. You
Okay.
say that in all amusement.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I have an extra child, but I was I guess Prince Harry has just gone to visit the king again.
Okay.
Right? They have not seen each other for 20 or 30 months. Right?
It's been an extra long time.
Extra long time. And he wrote a autobiography recently. And do you remember what it was called?
No, I don't.
It's called Spare.
Spare.
So he's the spare compared to his older brother, who will be king.
Okay.
He's the extra.
He's the
right?
extra.
And that's part of, I think, his grief in the world, that he feels like he's just extra, just left over. So, wow, extra,
Okay.
extra. Wow.
So then when they say extra, extra, read all about it, what does that mean?
extra,
So
read all
what
about
are
it.
other things? There's
But isn't it called the extra? Wasn't that like a newspaper? Extra? I don't know.
extra?
So many different
So
meanings.
what does extramarital mean then?
Is that like more marital?
Oh, that'd be nice. But I don't think that's what it means.
I'm having an extramarital affair. I'm having more marriage with my wife. That's exactly what it means. No, clearly, it means outside of the marriage.
Outside
there, right?
of.
So
So-
there's another, okay.
Okay, so another meaning for that.
English language. How does anybody learn this language?
Okay. So
right?
then I think we have the theme for our
Well, you clearly like
podcast
the word
today.
extra.
I like
What are we going to
extra.
do? Extra?
So
the whole theme is on the word
our
extra.
theme won't be on the word just extra. It's
Okay.
going to be, the theme is going to be extracurricular.
Oh, those are fighting words
There we
with
go.
some listeners, I think. Extracurricular. Okay, let's have a talk and figure out what that means. I mean, does it mean more curriculum? Does it mean outside of the curriculum? What does that mean? So that.
We'll find out.
That is a great idea. So extracurricular. How do you see the meaning of that?
Well, I think in business, extracurricular is called overtime.
You get paid extra,
I get paid extra.
right?
I wish we had that. I'd be doing quite well right now.
It's
I could have retired earlier.
for all the hours that teachers put in.
Yes.
That is extracurricular. That is volunteer hours, really. That's unpaid.
And then extracurricular is outside the curriculum. And I know there are a lot of things that in schools that are extracurricular. Mm-hmm. What are some things that you've been involved in?
Well, I mean, when I started my career, everyone looked to me. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I did find when you're a male on staff in an elementary school, maybe more in the 90s than now, people right away assumed you do sports.
You do all of sports.
Right? I really, right? I
Yes.
felt that pressure.
That you would enjoy doing it. It was, that's like
you're a guy and you do sports, right?
Maybe, yeah.
And that is despite the fact that I've seen so many stellar women coaches
Female
and
athletes, yes,
and so
coaches.
It is not based in anything in reality. It was just a stereotype,
Yes,
right? That
I believe
that we
that
had
to
to
be true.
endure, man.
Yes.
My God, how did we do it? But so volleyball was definitely probably the first thing extracurricular.
Yeah.
At a time in the 90s when I don't know, I didn't find it as onerous to do, even though I was a beginning teacher, to take on extracurricular. I don't know, because the curriculum didn't seem to dominate like it does now.
Yeah.
And it didn't become so all-encompassing kind of thing that it is now, right? So it's just, okay, yeah, we do extra. Everyone helps out around here, and it's fun to do these things. How about you?
Volleyball was one of my favorites to coach. I loved to run, so I was cross country.
Yeah.
I coached cross country, track for sure, track and field. And I know it was one of the things at many schools in track and field. There's so many different events that sometimes they even had time carved out in the middle of the week where like all the school would be able to go outside from the more of like the grade 4 and up and would go outside and be so there would be shot put and there'd be relay and there'd be long jump and high jump, and so everyone would be able to practice outside.
I like sometimes I like that over the extracurricular part when you do it within the school day, and that you can get EAs to help out, the administrator to help out, maybe a couple parents. You can have smaller groups, but then you get everybody involved in all these different activities, and it's not just the kids that go, "Oh yeah, I'm good at long distance running, or I'm good at high jumping after school." So some who didn't know they were good at get to try it out.
Yes,
and you get to me, elementary school should be about finding things that you as a child like to do, but a lot of kids already put up a barrier for themselves. They say, I can't do that. I'm too short, right? But when you do it within the school day like that, I think often coaching can work
give
better.
them a chance to try it.
Yeah, and then suddenly they're involved in the sport, and they never would have.
Well, and it's interesting that you say that, because I can remember I was at Ridgeway Elementary School, and we had an afternoon where all the teachers set up stations for the track events, and they let students try ones that they wanted to try, and then they were able to rotate and then try some that maybe they weren't so interested in, but just wanted to give it a try.
Right.
And we ended up getting an amazing number, because I was coach shot put at Ridgeway, which in the end no one else wanted to coach it.
You were the shot put guy?
I was the shot put guy.
That's what happens, right?
And but we ended up with some students who had never tried shot put, liked it, and went on to get medals, or I guess ribbons, at Swangard. But it was only because of the fact that they had the opportunity to try it.
They would not have naturally chosen that to do after school, for example. Yeah. And I think about coaching, it does open up some vulnerabilities. Like even in my first few years of teaching, my third year of teaching, I was coaching volleyball, and I'm at maybe a playoff game. Don't know how I got to the playoffs with my team, but I did somehow. And so I would rotate all the players through, right?
Yes.
Everyone. I wouldn't just choose certain players. So I was really good at rotating. So I was just rotating through, but for some reason, some parent thought that I was leaving her son on the bench and not letting him on the floor, which is, and so I mean, at the end of the game, this parent just comes up and starts yelling at me in front of everyone, putting me on the spot. You're vulnerable, right? You're just making these decisions, and then I found I've never been into basketball. I'm not really, I do it with my class, but it's not my thing.
Yes.
Right?
I find it's a complex sport.
It is. Like
coach.
Volleyball is pretty clear.
And
of course,
to
it's
referee.
complex, right?
Yes.
But to referee basketball, there's so much. And so at Lioness, I just one year for some reason I got pressured into doing basketball, and I coached a team. But I'm playing some teams that actually were coached by dads who were like professional basketball players, and he's pulling stuff. And I mean, this is my free extra time outside of the curriculum, and I'm not enjoying this. You know, I'm not enjoying this 1 minute. That's why I said I'm never doing basketball again. Until, though, I got to another school, and I remember my first year there, and some teacher there who shall remain nameless, but she was really an amazing coach in basketball. So she saw me, male on staff, right? Oh, okay, this guy you're a coach. So she said, so you're going to be coaching basketball? What grades would you like to do? I go, I know, I don't really do basketball. I just it's my extracurricular. And she said, I can picture it. We're at the photocopier, and I go, I don't really do basketball. And she goes, well, I don't like doing science either. I have to do it. And then she walked out. She missed that extracurricular part, right? So that was, no, I'm not doing basketball.
Well, and I think when you look at all the demands of the job,
yes,
finding extra time for extracurricular it is tough.
It is tough.
Things that are extracurricular that are short-term things that are one-offs, sort of events, whether it be, I think cross-country, there's a limited number of times that there were meets, so then that wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just as an activity, there's something that lasts for a short period of time, and then everybody on staff just jumps in and helps out.
Yeah, and that's
right.
That's what you want, right?
That's what you want. But really, ultimately, if you're going to be involved in an extracurricular activity, it should be something you're passionate about.
And that's how I changed, right? When you first start, you're a young teacher, so you say yes to everything. So, okay, I'll do volleyball. Okay, I'll try this basketball team. But then eventually I got to my passions. So I like drama, right? So I put on a musical for the school and worked together and put that. Why, Mr. Hunt's snickering at me.
Well, I was telling you because for an extracurricular activity. Actually, it wasn't. It was extracurricular, but it was done at lunchtime during my lunch.
Yeah.
Right. And so I was head of the cheese club.
Oh, okay. The cheese club.
The cheese club.
What, it's like.
Yes,
brie and Swiss cheese.
Some students approached me.
I like goat cheese, Mr. Hunt.
Some students approached me and asked me. It was not just me; there were other teachers involved, and they wanted to have a chess club, and so the posters put up.
They couldn't spell. Okay,
and one of the posters that was on the that was on the wall said, come to the cheese club. Oh, welcome.
And then what about that poor kid that shows up expecting to talk about how good brie can be, right? And different ways you can create Gruyere. And then they sit down and go, Mr. Hunt, why are all these chessboards here? What's going on?
Yes.
I came for the cheese club.
I came for the cheese club. I'm disappointed.
So, but you chose that because you enjoy doing it, and you had it brought you joy to do that with the kids, right? And that's why I chose things to do with drama. I created a green club at one school, right? Because I'm passionate about the environment. So you start to choose things that you get something out of, right? And extracurricular isn't just sports; it's cheese clubs, right?
Cheese clubs.
Maybe you're into knitting, right? Maybe people. First of all, I want to say very clearly here. It's extracurricular. It's volunteer.
It's voluntary.
So you don't have to do anything.
Voluntary.
You don't have to do anything.
No.
Right? However, saying that, a school only works when everybody shares the load.
That's right.
Right? And we've all been in situations where, okay, this is not quite equal here, right? And in fact, that's why I liked our years at Dorothy Linus, because we tried to make it equal. Right, we would write all the jobs up,
all the
coaching jobs.
So when we had a staff committee meeting, there'd be a list.
It'd be very clear, right, of all the things, and we as a staff controlled it. It came from us, not the administration. In staff committee, which is our meetings, our union meetings in North Vancouver, we would then put up these. And for example, we'd give, I think, through staff committee, before we were there, they had allocated a point system,
Yes.
right? And they had given certain points,
So
like-
something with a high commitment would be like a 3.
yeah.
So so a 3 for the entire year, kind of thing.
Right. So like we have things in North Vancouver called chief staff rep, which is like the union rep. But you're equal to the principal. It takes a lot of time, so that would have been a 3. Coaching is tough, but that would have been a 1, I think, in my memory of it. Right. So it was a way of going, okay, I've done a 3 and a 1. I'm out. I did my part. Right.
Yes.
And I always found that very effective. And I don't think anyone felt that they were doing more than other people. Right. But people also had a sense collectively we need to work together to make the school a great place.
Right.
You do have to do those extras
Right.
to make it great. You don't have to really do them, as I said.
No.
But I think when you're at a place where you feel supported and you think everybody's pulling their weight, then it's okay. Right?
And there's, there's an acknowledgement that we don't know what people's circumstances are like outside of school.
Right.
There are people who are caring for parents. There are people who have children at home that have to pick up and things. So that those things are all understandable. But it's just trying to find an opportunity to do an activity if you can, if it's in your wheelhouse, if it's of interest, because those things, and the reason why I did them, those things make connections with students that are outside of the area of academics.
Yeah.
They allow you to see them in a different light. It gets them to see you in a different light. It builds cohesion with staff members.
Yes.
You oftentimes working together. You and I did coaching together.
Yeah.
And I think
that's always enjoyable when you can share it with
when
someone.
you can share
right?
that
You don't
experience.
feel so alone when you're out there coaching volleyball against some professional Olympic volleyball coach from another school.
But I also find that it's more difficult now with the extracurricular activities because we have students who have been to special clubs,
right?
The Steve
Yes.
Nash basketball,
right?
That
is
they come in
far
and
more
it's like,
prevalent. Yes.
I want to be number 1 on the team, and I said, well,
Yeah.
but a team has more than one player,
Yeah.
and so then we get into those situations where there's some students who just dominate, and those other students who didn't have a chance with Steve Nash basketball,
Yeah.
they can sometimes be have a feeling of being left out.
And I think that's the problem. We do lose out, and you may not find that future Steve Nash if you only have kids that are at that level coming into those situations. But Steve Nash can be that quiet little kid who's too short, who's sitting in class, who doesn't think they should try out for the basketball team. But if they get a chance to do it, because in elementary school, you do get judged so early just on your growth spurt or whatever it is, right? Or what your friends are doing. So that is a shame. Yeah.
So, I mean, like you said, I think when we were coaching, everyone had a chance.
Yes.
Everyone had an opportunity to learn the skills. If they wanted to practice the skills of that activity outside of school after, then that would be on their own, but maybe they develop the skill a little better. Maybe they develop an interest.
Yeah.
But extracurricular activities, while they can take a lot of time from staff members, they also provide such a rich layer, or they add to the fabric of the school.
And I like what you said about when you have kids who get involved and you work with them, you get to see them outside of school. And I know Mark Thompson did a good job at creating environmental clubs at Mount Royal when I was there, and I worked on that with him. And it would be, I think really it was mainly, because for some reason the grades 6 and 7s they were off doing other things. So it was often a lot of primary students who'd get involved in this, which was really wonderful because I got to see some of the primary students who I would then have, right? And I saw them in a different situation. And when they got into my class, I knew them. And I had worked with them in that capacity. So that was always really good.
So I guess the biggest takeaway from here is that extracurricular activities are going to be at schools for long, long time.
Right.
If teachers don't volunteer, then what happens? Either the activity goes by, gets dropped.
It doesn't happen.
Or they start bringing in outside sources, parents, and then and that's a different level of.
And that can be welcome in some situations, for sure.
Welcome in some ways. I think some schools, if they bring in a parent who's very good at coaching, let's say basketball, then oftentimes there's a teacher that is with that parent, so that they
have
become
to have a teacher sponsor.
A sponsor,
often,
yes.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be involved in an extracurricular activity, make sure that it's something that you really enjoy doing.
You really enjoy doing it. And at Dorothy Linus,
passionate about it.
At Dorothy Linus, we kind of took that in a fun way as teachers, where when we signed up for all those committees and we gave a point system. Remember, we created this. We just made up a committee called MASK, right?
Yes.
Right. I'm not going to tell you what it stands for. It was called MASK, and a bunch of us would sign up for it. Nobody else knew what it was, and I think we made up it was worth 5 points. But I mean, people knew we were just goofing around, right? And for some reason, all those meetings seemed to happen at the pub.
Yes. We had the same thing at Ridgeway.
Yeah.
We called it the Bird Watching Club. A lot of teachers signed up for that.
Nice.
And it usually happened on a Friday.
Yeah.
And we would say that today's bird watching, and we would go to the Gull.
Yeah, but it's making a school a fun place to be. It's
Yes.
like many schools I've been at. Friday you'd hear someone announce, "Okay, don't forget everyone, we have choir practice today, right?"
Yes, I remember choir practice.
Anybody listening?
That's an
those
extracurricular
those
activity.
teachers go off to choir practice.
They
Very
sing
impressive.
and they bird watch.
Right.
Wow.
But the key is have fun. If you're feeling forced to it, if you're voluntold, people often use that term. I was voluntold. Well, why are you doing it then?
Yeah.
You didn't want to do it, right? Volunteer and say you want to do it and get something out of it. But if you're feeling forced and you're voluntold, you need to question about why you're doing it.
I mean, there's a difference between what you just said, being voluntold, and saying, and someone saying, we're really stuck and we need someone to help us out.
And when you have a supportive staff, you do that for your
right.
other members on staff, for sure.
And I think it's okay to negotiate. You say, okay, well, I can do it this time, or I can do it next week, but I can't do it past that point.
Yeah.
And like all good organizations in a school, when teachers communicate with each other and they share what's going on and they look at the needs within the school, it's amazing what can get done.
Yeah. So to me, the takeaway from this Manning Park session would be that extracurricular, yes, you do not have to do it, right? Totally understand. You're not getting paid, right? It is volunteer time. If you choose to do it, and I think people should choose to do it to have a school that you really believe in, right? You really feel everyone's pulling their weight. So I think it's vital. But if you choose to do it, you should find things that you enjoy doing, right? And there's no one says that, basketball is more important than basket weaving. If that's a club you'd like to run, or
Yes.
the cheese club, right?
Yes, the
if
cheese
that's
club.
what you want to run and that's something extra that the kids can do, and there's enough people that are interested in that, then by all means. But I would suggest you find something so that you feel as a professional that you're part of this team, right? And you're not just having other people carry the weight all the time.
Yep.
Agreed?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, there you go. That's our takeaway. We're going to, head off and now have some extra fun because I don't want to make this extra work for Mr. Hunt here.
There you go.
In this meeting. And that's our episode on extracurricular activities. This podcast is organic, taking shape with each episode. Building resiliency for teachers everywhere.
That sounds great.
And our website is stuntbrothers.ca.
That's stuntbrothers.ca.
We will chat again.
After the bell.